Official, Xabi Alonso, dismissed. After 232 days and 34 matches, he is no longer the head coach of Real Madrid. It's about the results and the feelings. The club felt the team wasn't delivering, not even in attitude. First of all, if you are new, subscribe and hit the like button for more videos. Let's get started. Arbeloa replaces him. Xabi Alonso is no longer the coach of Real Madrid. Period. It's official. This is how a story that started like a fairy tale melody ends with nightmare violins and ordeal for everyone involved. Unsustainable. 232 days in charge, 34 matches, he only completed 20% of his contract. He had signed until June 30, 2028, 3 seasons. But it's all over. It's about the results and the feelings. The team, even with effort, one of the recurring criticisms, wasn't functioning. The sense was that the bets simply hadn't paid off. Maybe it wasn't the right moment, maybe for many maybes. But the decision is final, Xabi, dismissed. Arbeloa will take over the team, signing for a season and a half. The Professor era is over. By mutual agreement, but with the weight of Real Madrid's unmatched demands. Everything accelerated today. The team landed in Madrid around 8 o'clock, and a few hours later, there was a meeting at Valdebebas. Players were given the day off, no training. Xabi Alonso went to Valdebebas and met with the club leadership. The coach himself admitted he was exhausted by the situation, tired of living under the sword of Damocles. The club shared its doubts about the project, widely known. The meeting led to a common denominator, the end, by mutual agreement. Xabi Alonso is no longer Real Madrid's coach. Arbeloa will sit on the bench at the Belmonte, the new coach, starting tomorrow in the press room at Valdebebas. A stage that looked like it would become an era has ended, a new era begins, hoping not to feel like just a stage. It's official. Real Madrid statement. Real Madrid announces that, by mutual agreement between the club and Xabi Alonso, it has been decided to end his tenure as head coach of the first team. Xabi Alonso will always have the love and admiration of all Madrid fans because he is a legend of Real Madrid and has always represented the values of our club. Real Madrid will always be his home. Our club thanks Xabi Alonso and his entire coaching staff for their work and dedication during this time, and we wish them the best of luck in this new stage of their lives. Internal shock and the Pintus bomb. Most of the players learned about this through the statement. The bombshell also hit internally. The meeting was known, but no one imagined the impact. One key factor, Pintus. The club had been planning his promotion in the first team, putting him back in charge of physical preparation. Under Xabi, he had taken a step back as performance manager, a role with little day-to-day impact. The club, unhappy with the team's physical condition, wanted to restore his authority. This affected Xabi Alonso's staff, which didn't sit well. Trusted people, like Ismael Caminfort, were now affected. Now, Pintus will be a key man for Arbeloa in this new chapter, which opens after Xabi Alonso's era ends. X-ray of a collapse. 34 matches. 232 days in charge, 7 months. Xabi leaves with 24 wins, 4 draws, 6 losses. On paper, not alarming, but with fine print, the team went from strong to weak. Until the match against Valencia on November 1, the record was almost flawless, 17 wins in 20 matches, top of the league by 5 points, perfect in the Champions League. But 72 days later, everything changed. That Real Madrid, which had won 13 of the first 14 matches, the Metropolitano was a stumble, collapsed. From November 1, Chamartin clouded over, only 7 wins in the last 14 matches. A 50% rate unworthy of the club. A collapse. A mayday. It started in Liverpool, that loss, that image. Then Vallecas, Elche, Girona, Celta, City, and the Supercopa final. This period killed the project, from leading the race to just 4 points behind in La Liga and on the brink of falling out of the Champions League top 8. A worrying trend. No football, no fitness. Xabi Alonso wasn't dismissed just for results, but also for feelings. For weeks, doubts hovered over the project. The sense was he hadn't found the formula, hadn't won the locker room, and the physical work wasn't satisfactory. Criticizing players was fair, but not the whole story. The feeling, the team simply couldn't deliver, even with maximum effort. A lesson reinforced by the night against City. Xabi wasn't working, he wouldn't work. No time to waste. Patience ran out against City, Xabi Alonso hanging by a thread, like a king facing checkmate without pieces. Only one path could save him, winning the 3 matches of 2025 and convincing, at least a little. He improved the image, but not enough to convince. Since then, he has lived under the sword of Damocles. Until Jeddah. And now, after another setback, the dilemma ends. Period. Dismissed. Real Madrid DNA. At its core, this is the summary of Real Madrid's DNA. Their demands are non-negotiable. Players, coaches, legends, it's the supreme law of a club that few can handle. Coming to Madrid means facing the most demanding bench in the world. Maybe it's impatience. Maybe it sometimes leads down the wrong path or costs long-term projects. But it's undeniable, it's the formula that took the club to the top of the sport. Real Madrid doesn't care about names, only results. Was Xabi 100% Xabi? Madrid under Xabi Alonso wasn't working, so Xabi Alonso leaves. Football rules are harsh, the captain is the first to leave the sinking ship. He isn't solely responsible, but this is how it works. Doubts remain, was he fully himself until the end? Did he take his foot off the gas? From June to January, differences emerged, high pressing in the USA, then gradually reduced, controversial decisions like moving Vinicius, Valverde at fullback, or Rodrigo's positioning all caused debate. Gonzalo, his big bet at the Club World Cup, ended up sidelined. Difficult, even very difficult. Hero in Leverkusen. Xabi's career at Bayer Leverkusen was historic, probably unrepeatable. He arrived in October 2022 with the team in crisis. That season, he not only saved them but qualified for the Europa League. In 2023-24, he won the Bundesliga, club's first, the German Cup, and reached the Europa League final. A streak of 54 matches unbeaten. A resume that didn't just open Real Madrid's door, it smashed it. The day after. Ancelotti. He arrived quickly, May 25, announced one day after Ancelotti's last match. No time to waste. The Club World Cup loomed, almost €140 million for the winner. Contract signed, work began. On June 9, first day at Valdebebas, 7:30 a.m. I come now to get ahead in the processes, and fight for another title, he said. Despite doubts, he took the role. Final point. Despite the PSG setback, 2 individual mistakes, his start was fruitful. But then things went wrong. The to-death attitude arrived too late. In January, the team wasn't physically fit. Combined with results, it became unsustainable. 232 days, 34 matches. Only 20% of his contract completed. Until January 12. Period. Xabi Alonso is no longer Real Madrid coach. Dismissed. Arbeloa arrives. If you liked the video, subscribe and hit the like button. See you in the next video.